This past year has been one of both ups and downs, goals and misses, wins and losses, despair and hope. How would you describe it? One's most memorable event has to be the World Cup in Brazil, thanks to Germany, who in just 30 minutes put 5 past the hosts. Who said the Germans don't have a sense of humour? And what of our England? My Fan Squad family and I predicted a win for us in the World Cup during our annual visit to the Eternal Optimist. How did we do? Not too well. Battered by Balotelli, sunk by Suarez, bottom of Group D and home, with mobiles on silent, wishing they'd never joined Twitter, and with plenty of time for halls in Vegas, Dubai, or Marbs, as I believe it's called. My view is that they weren't helped by staying a gillion miles from Manaus before the Italy game. Well, not a gillion, 1,800. Still, next World Cup the boys can train at home. Moscow's just 1,500 miles away. At home, hope turned to reality as Manchester City celebrated. Well, except Yaya, perhaps, who wanted to have his cake and eat it. Not just any old cake. No love bites and everything moments this time, thanks to the brilliant Sergio Aguero and his 17 Premier League goals, 52 in 87 in total for City. For Liverpool it was ecstasy and agony. Brilliant for so long, then Steven Gerrard's slip against Chelsea. This was Da Vinci smudging the Mona Lisa after 4 years' work. And Christian Bull, when Palace scored 3 times in 9 minutes against them, and all hope was lost. Still, with Sturridge and Sterling, what could go wrong this season? And Arsenal finally won a trophy. Since the Invincibles of 2003-04, Greece had won the Euros, QE2 had been retired, Hurricane Katrina had struck, the Arab Spring had sprung, Angela Merkel had become Chancellor of Germany, Brian Clough had passed away. So many years. But it wasn't the Champions League, nor the Premier League, but the FA Cup against Hull City. Buy a holding midfield player and you Gunners will surely challenge for everything next time. Hope was realised with great achievements. Step forward Tony Pulis, the first man to keep Palace in the Premier League. Step forward Gus Poyet, whose bottom of the table Sunderland went to Chelsea and Manchester United, won both and stayed up. Step forward £11 million Kostas Mitroglou. Oh, sorry, he's not fit enough to step forward, according to Felix Magath. He played for 2.5 hours in total. Of course, this time of year is always a time for forgiveness. So we should forgive Alan Pardew for trying to push David Mailer away with his head, and Arsene Wenger for his shove on Jose Mourinho, and pundit John Hartson who said, "I only have one word for Wenger and Mourinho: grow up." And Vincent Tan for the tandemonium that blighted Cardiff City's season, and Leon Clark, then of Coventry, for scoring a 94th minute winner against Hartlepool in the FA Cup. Actually, not him. Forgiveness only goes so far. But this is Christmas, and above all else, we offer hope and remember those less fortunate. Less fortunate stalwarts like Bob, who should have been watching Palace against West Ham as Tony Pulis somehow kept the Eagles up. He should have been there, with Steve and Lambhead, but instead found himself in a department store holding 9 bags while his girlfriend searched for the perfect scented candle. And Derek, a lifelong Chelsea fan who should have been sitting watching Jose feed milk to his little horse as they trampled City, but he was, sadly, miming 50 Shades of Grey to his 94-year-old grandmother during another game of charades. These people, this fan squad, is what makes our Premier League the greatest and the finest. Because when all seems lost, they come through. Fans who despaired as Joe Kinnear, Newcastle United Director of Football, talked of Johan Kebab, and in his 8 months signed no one. Yet now, they see their side flourish. Fans who understood Manchester United stars' despondency this year when chips were banned by David Moyes. They understood. This season, they understand they must support Van Gaal's philosophy and dream. Just as Southampton fans dream of Real Madrid and Bayern Munich at St Mary's. just as Burnley fans dream of survival on a budget that would not have bought the Stelling family box of Christmas crackers. Just as Sunderland fans dream that Josie Altidore will one day score again. And as England fans dream that in March we will give one heck of a beating to Lithuania. Fueled by passion, driven by desire, and most importantly of all, not just at Christmas, living, as all football fans do, in eternal hope. And so, I wish you all, whether champions, promoted, relegated, or mid-table, a very happy mid-season.
He looks for another striker goal, and he's got it in!
Yeah! Nice
this
one!
is unreal! 3 up inside 20 minutes!
A disaster for the young goalkeeper.
If Carlsberg did Christmas messages, they would probably be the best in the world.